And we got the green light, so we should be good. I believe we are live. We'll actually show up here
It will.
in just a moment.
Okay.
Hopefully. Welcome to the show. This is This Week in Nothing.
Yeah.
We're going to be attempting a weekly show every Saturday morning. So you know how there's no more cartoons on Saturday morning. This should be funnier than any fucking cartoon you've ever seen.
I don't know. That was kind of like I think every child's golden time back in the days before the internet like took over everything.
I'm sure there's like some stream on YouTube that we could pick up that would be Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen like streams that are live 24/7 of just a show, and you just watch it whenever. Like I've seen it for.
I saw one
stuff.
yesterday for SpongeBob SquarePants. How?
Yeah, I've seen
like is that like legal? Do they get kicked?
I mean, it's happening enough that I don't think it's illegal. They're probably going through the proper channels because I've seen that. I've seen South Park. I've seen a few different ones.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, this is just kind of weird because we're like seeing us in the past right now.
Yeah, apparently there is a pretty hefty delay.
Well, hey, I mean, we'll just roll with that. We'll kind of see how that goes.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to look at that. I'm going back to the live feed.
Yeah, it'll be weird, like looking at you in the past.
We're the only ones watching ourselves.
I
think I'm okay with that.
It's not unexpected. It's okay. This will be out on the internet forever. So, if we screw up, no big deal. All right. We had
you really do feel like you're gonna throw up, don't you?
No. I swear, that was just the energy drinks and breakfast pizza.
Yeah, that probably wasn't a very good choice.
Oh crap! Hey, look at that.
Someone else is watching.
All right. Well,
cool. Oh, we went to the orange. I wonder why. Oh well.
All right. So we had a general idea of what we want to discuss today.
Oh yeah. If you want to lead, so a couple weeks ago, you experienced an incident with one of your friends from the Army.
Right. Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit? I didn't read into your posts. I was kind of like, well, we kind of discussed talking about it on this, so I'm gonna just save it and I'll absorb the story while you just tell me.
Okay. Well, in general, we were wanting to discuss like just the effect of being in the military, both positive and negative, and how they've gone on to affect our lives. And recently, I had a friend pass away who I was very close with. At the time of the post that you're referring to, I was very unsure of the details, but of course, when someone passes, your mind goes to, bad places really quick. Turned out he died from diabetic shock, which is no less sad, but, I've had friends who have, taken their own lives after the military, and it's something that just kind of hovers in the back of your mind when it does happen.
Yeah, like if you do hear of one of your buddies passing away, that's like one of your first thoughts, especially if you did experience a deployment. For me, I had a there was an incident a couple years ago, and furthest thing from my mind that he would take his own life.
Oh yeah.
But I was informed that he took his own life, and I'm like, what? I mean, it hit me pretty hard. Probably one of the best friends I'll ever have.
Oh yeah.
And it was pretty intense. And we didn't even go over. We weren't deployed.
Right.
We're parachute riggers. They didn't fuck us. They didn't need us.
No. Yeah, and like that's what happens. I myself and my unit, for the time I was in, we deployed twice, once to Iraq, once to Afghanistan, and there were enough incidences between attempts and successful attempts that it's like the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear something's happened. It's just like when a family member, you hear they went to the hospital, your mind always goes to that place, that something's wrong, and it just kind of paints your world at that point. And I can't really speak for other people, but this is my own experiences with it. Like I said, with the deployments and everything, but I don't know, it's just something that really has a big impact on your life at that point on. And
So I've had a thought about this. So with my buddy, we did a lot of skating when we were down south. Did a lot.
Right.
He continued to skate after he got out. I continued to try. Up north, you kind of lose the ability to get out and actually skate,
Right.
especially since there's a real huge lack of indoor skate parks up here. North Carolina has like, I want to say like triple indoor skate parks that we have up here.
Oh,
And I'm like, but it's the South. You would imagine outdoor, you know? But they did have outrageous outdoor parks as well.
Well, I think like it's probably just bigger down there too.
Yeah.
It was the largest.
They were a lot better. They were way better.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I got any better was because of down south. But so he gets out, and my first thought was because he hurt his ACL,
Right.
so he couldn't really skate anymore. So I kind of started thinking about it, and whenever I don't get out to skate, at least once a year. I mean that's a huge success if I get out even once a year.
Yeah.
But if I don't, it sucks. It's an absolute down, like just bottom line. Depressed as fuck.
And honestly, like whether you're a veteran or just a regular person, if you struggle with any sort of depression or anxiety or anything like that, when you're kept from doing the things you love, it hits you. It hits you hard, and you have to find something that's going to fulfill that.
Well, I started thinking about it and comparing it to like deployments and stuff like that, because it's way higher with just people that have been in intense situations.
Yeah.
Now, what if part of it was just adrenaline basis?
Oh.
What if everyone's just experiencing a huge withdrawal from adrenaline?
And I can't say that's not the case, because there are certain things that you get from deployment you get from very little else. There is that heightened, sense of danger and the adrenaline that comes from it. Another thing that's, both for me and a lot of people I know that's really big is that sense of community. Because when you're out there, you've got these people who are going to watch your back 24/7, no matter what. You can like get into a full-blown fist fight and be yelling at one guy one evening, and the next day you roll out, both of you are ready to die for each other if that comes down to it. And that's
civilian side, you don't get jack shit.
That's something like that. Once it's gone, it's immediate. You know it, you realize it, and you feel it deeply, because you go from, okay, I can hate your guts 1 minute, but to me, that's what real love is. It isn't, oh, how much, okay, I like being around them or how fun we have together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you do your shit and you stand up for one another. But like anyone that hasn't experienced the army, they don't understand like how to put things aside.
Yeah.
Like, because at a young age, I had that type of relationship with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd fight constantly, but then at the end of the day, it's over.
Right.
It's done. We're best friends, whatever. And I never felt that again until I was in the army.
Right.
And now that I don't have it, now that like this is how I think of it. People on the civilian side, they have a choice. They have a choice to not give a fuck about you.
Right.
On the military side, you kind of have to, or you're screwed.
Right. Well,
if you believe they have any kind of integrity at all, then they're worried about their reputation, their employment, and their families.
When you get deployed and everything, though, it goes so much further beyond that.
I would imagine.
And like you're talking, like you had that relationship with your cousin and stuff. And the way I see it, when you're a civilian, if you haven't had any military experience, you might have 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 of those people in your lives. But when you're out and you're deployed, you have like 20 of those people in your lives, and they become like family. They become that close. And that's one of the big things that happens. And again, when you get out, when you go away, you still have that connection to all these people, but maybe this is just me. The distance hurts it really badly. There's like just having that feeling of them right here. Okay, this is solid. I got them right there, as opposed to, okay, you can pick up and call them. You always know you can pick up and call them, but it kind of,
it's
yeah.
it's way different to have to realize like if anything happens to me, like those people that I actually really cared about. And now that I've been out so long, I'm like shit, man. I should have stayed in. Like
Oh yeah.
those were real people. Like as much as like I dog on like there was a lot of shit bags and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, there always is, and that's everywhere you go.
Yes, I've come to realize that now, but like even those shit bags were like 10% better than some of the shit bags I meet now.
Yeah. No. And that happens. That just comes with the territory. And again, kind of going back to what you were saying as far as like what can cause this, it's that family, that sense of family that you have there. It's definitely for a lot of people the adrenaline. Not everyone saw combat, even if they deployed. And I can't say anything for the people who were like, say, on an Air Force base or something, and the most exciting part of their day was having incoming indirect fire, which would be like mortars or something. If you're on
Yeah.
a Air Force base, you have these cool, like almost sci-fi machine guns that shoot the mortars out of the sky before they're anywhere near. I mean, you still scramble for like some barriers to hide under, but you're really realistically, you're not in a whole lot of danger if you're on one of those big bases.
Yeah.
And if you're there the whole time, you can get kind of, it can get old quick. But no, and that is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I've ever since I've been out, I'm just like I should have just stayed in. I
Right.
didn't need to go to college. I did not need to go to college.
Yeah.
I would have had a much better future. There's some guys that I see now on Facebook and stuff
Yeah.
that that like they're doing fantastic. Like half of
Oh
them
yeah.
are Halo jumpers, and I'm like,
No,
what did I do?
no, and I've done the same thing. Like since I got out, one of the reasons I got out was because I was in that point of my career where the only way I was going to progress was if I became a leader, and I was all of 22 years old, and I mean, even as a veteran and a military person, I'm not the most aggressive person, and I was content at that time in my life to just be a follower. So I'm
Yeah,
like, well, I'm not ready to make that jump.
yeah.
I'll take my leave. I'll go on.
You get a couple tastes of like squad leader, and you're like,
Mm.
these people fucking suck.
Well, and it wasn't even that. Like I said, I just at that point in my life, I wasn't ready for it. I was 22 years old. I'd done my time. I deployed twice at that point, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not ready for it, and I don't want to spend the next X amount of years essentially wasting my time trying to get ready for it. But looking back on it now, after I got up, I still ended up wasting the next X amount of years getting out, going, "What the fuck am I doing with my life?"
Yeah, yeah. Now, like sitting in like a factory position and stuff, I'm like, wait, isn't this exactly what I didn't want to do? Because essentially, parachute riggers are assembly workers.
Yeah.
You go, you pack your parachutes, and you get out. Now they're okay. So the new parachute,
Yeah.
the T11, it's much harder to pack. Okay,
Okay.
and I actually seen a video online where they only have to do like, don't quote me, I think it might have been 15. We had to do 25
Steps.
T10 deltas.
Oh, okay. Parachutes
T10
themselves.
deltas. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We had to only do 25 T10s, and we were out for the day
Okay.
because after 25 you were deemed as like unfit to.
Like you've put in as much as they want to get from you before your quality goes down.
Yeah, before it becomes unsafe. But now they only have to do like 15.
Well, if you're saying if
On the other
they're
side,
a little bit more
they're
complicated,
They're way more difficult.
right?
They
If
are.
it's more time consuming, you got to
Yes.
do more. Makes sense.
Even with those, I believe they are probably not getting out as early as we were, because
No.
we just fucking work our asses off out by noon.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It was
That's
it was amazing. It was
I remember when I was in, it would be a slow day, you know. Hey, we do some maintenance, or you walk around, we clean stuff up, and it might be like 2 o'clock. We got nothing going on, and first sergeant says, "Well, I've got some paperwork to do, and if I'm here, you're here.
You've gotta be here,
you bastard."
We ended up having to do that a lot.
Yeah.
They would make us wait until last formation to be able to go home. So we'd sit in the pack shed, and it got to the point where it just wasn't working. Like there were so many people like just jetting off anyways. They'd come up with some dumb excuse. I mean, the sham masters, you know.
Right. And that's actually kind of what we ended up doing, because our squad was, you know, pretty tight. And our barracks were literally right next to the battery HQ. So all we did was be like, okay, such and such, you're going to stay here and you're going to pull guard, and we're all going to go to our rooms and do whatever. And you just call us or text us when formation's coming up. And we like do rotating shifts every couple hours. Be like, okay.
There was always plenty of that.
Yeah.
There was always plenty of that.
And again, even, you know, when you're back home, that's a good example of, you know, just watching out for each other. Being like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll freaking hang out here.
Now people are just on the civilian side. You're getting dimed out left and right. Well, people don't care if they're in a shitty situation. You have to be in a shitty situation.
Well, and the stuff I've seen people do, or have had done to them, to friends or to people they say are friends, I can't believe. I'm like, why are you doing that? What's wrong with you?
The biggest thing to me is these people that are like, oh, they're my friends, blah blah blah, but then like you see their actual relationship and you're like, well, no, they're not really friends. You do understand, like, you slip up once and they're not gonna be there. Like even the actions of them, like when they're close as they possibly can be to them, it's like, well, they're not even that close to you.
Well, like, for example, with us, like, even though we didn't serve together, like in the past, we've gotten into full-blown brawls. And have just been like ready to tear each other's head off, but we're still cool.
Yeah, then it's over.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, when we lived together and everything, and didn't work out.
No,
but we're still cool.
Yeah,
like you can do that with a lot of people.
No, you can't do that. But, and that's it. You just pick it up. You pick it up like no problem. Like I've had a few friends where I'm just like, man, they fucked up. I'm gonna give them a shot.
Right. And
there's still we could still be friends. I'm still friends with people that I've gone through worse than this.
Yeah.
But then at the end, it's like they didn't accept the fact that you did that for them, and like they don't acknowledge it or something, or like they do the same thing over again. And you're like,
what's going on, Chief? Come on,
fool me once.
Yeah,
fool me once, shame on me. Yeah,
but then on the reverse side, like we said, the good things have come out of it, and that is this: you know, the people who you do get these relationships with, who you do have these friendships with, you carry that with you, and that becomes a part of you, and that's definitely a good force. And another thing that I'm definitely a big fan of, especially like in general in the socio-political internet, you know, general vibes going on right now, is you learn a certain amount of hardiness, of, you know, strength of character and convictions, and, you know, you get that proverbial thick skin, which especially now is really important, because everybody's wanting to call foul on this, that, and the other, and sometimes you just got to be like, you know what, I'm not sweating this. I'm just gonna, you know,
you're a snowflake.
Essentially. I didn't want to get there. But
no. Like, but that's hurting people's feelings right now, and I'm like, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember what a snowflake is? The cold-hearted son of a bitch, right there.
Yes, it's also unique and special and very fragile, and it needs to be taken care of.
It's one of a kind.
But no, and like, I think for most people who have gone through any sort of military, if you've just gone through the training, and if you got through that, you've got an idea, because you essentially have these people in your face, and they're telling you what's up. You have to get the thick skin just to not break down, which I'm sure a lot of people would if they weren't prepared for that.
Oh yeah, and they did. They
Right.
did.
Oh
There
yeah.
was
There was always
countless
going to be
people.
those people, but and I think that's definitely a really big attribute to pull away, is because everyone thinks, oh, I'm special, I'm special. You're as special as you make yourself, and
Yeah.
I try to I say that in like the best way possible. If you want to be special and that's really your goal, go out, do something, make something,
Yeah.
stand for something. You aren't just special just because you were born. You're
Yeah.
yeah.
A huge reason why I started this was going down the road of like getting the equipment to do a podcast and
Oh, yeah.
doing like YouTube videos and stuff. It was I was watching everyone and I'm like, well, I could do this. Why don't
Right.
I have one of these? And then I'm like, well, cuz I'm not doing it. Because
Right.
I'm not seeking this out. So I just started seeking it out, and gradually I'm learning so much, and it's just becoming so much easier. And I'm like, well, if I want to be one of those people, like literally all I have to do is just do it.
Right. And it's kind of like we were saying before about wanting to set this up, and we spitballed the idea around a little bit before actually committing to it. And this is one of those things, it's really cool, but I think like when you're younger, when you're a kid or something, you're like, this isn't my goal. But now as like
Yeah.
adults, we're like, this is awesome. Get our own little talk show going on. Hell yeah.
Oh my god. There was so much work around in this that that those virtual cables I was telling you about,
Them virtual cables, yep.
there
That internet.
there's a shit ton of them. Like absolute shit ton of them. And
They
when you go to find them, the websites for them are such backdoor looking things that you are not going to buy them. Like virtual audio cable wants you to donate from $25 to $50 depending on the level of support you get. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it doesn't look like you can give yourself website support. I don't think I should pay you.
And
But
for
on the
you,
other side,
for you people or person watching this right now, he's the tech guy here. So if I look like I got a blank face listening to him talk about this, it's because I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So I'm trying to pick it up.
Well, here, actually, I'll show you what their website looks like,
All right.
because it's
Is this like the internet equivalent to a back alley deal?
no, it looks more professional than that. I mean, it's just basic HTML, I do believe.
Oh yeah, the basics.
the basics.
Them basics.
I've been going through a couple courses, a couple boot camps.
Mm-hmm.
They're just online boot camps for coding. It's not bad. It's kind of fun. If you ever come across one, take a couple lessons, and you'll be surprised on how easy HTML is. You can literally you can code with Notepad on your computer.
All right.
So this is their website.
Okay, it looks pretty basic, but
It's
all right.
I mean,
And it's written out. It's
relatively,
got some links. I mean,
it's
nobody can get a bunch of bullet points.
yeah,
Some
that's
bold
it.
font.
Yeah, and then you go down, there's just a red bar and blah blah blah. But then when you go to buy the thing, let's see if I can
25 to
yeah,
50?
Yes, 25 to 50. This is their checkout page.
Hmm.
So I'm like, well, this is it's relatively sleek or whatever you want to call it, but I just didn't trust it. So I went with another one that was kind of, I mean, on the other hand, the one that I went with kind of looked flashy and
I
like,
mean, if it's something that uses
showboatish.
PayPal, you might be a little luckier. But yeah,
Yeah,
it kind of looks like one of those things like, hey, just put in your billing information right here and
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Okay, buddy? You can trust me.
And
I'm going to help
it
you.
worried me. I'm like, I think I'm gonna hold off. And it ended up being some of my problem was with virtual audio cable.
Which is that program there?
Yeah, the one
Okay.
that I just showed you, because I was getting kind of like this popping and just awful noise. But I straightened it out somehow. I'm not 100% sure on how I did it, but
Congratulations,
that's been
PFC.
That's been this whole learning experiences. I don't know how to do any of this, and YouTube is so great now.
Oh,
YouTube is becoming a dictionary down to like brain surgery.
oh yeah, you can find almost anything on YouTube, or the how-to of pretty much anything, which I'm sure whoever's watching this knows. But yeah, and that's one of the great things. It's a nice kind of um, internet hive mind of entertainment and life skills. You learn how to do stuff.
Yeah, I actually just watching vloggers and stuff like that. I got real into Casey Neistat. I've always been a huge fan of Philip DeFranco.
Oh yeah.
And I have found myself a fan of this farming channel.
A farming channel. All right.
A farming channel. It's just this
Hey, no shame.
husband and wife. They do a vlog about their farm. Oops. I'm gonna knock the table over.
Yeah, that'll be a nice.
I definitely got to get myself
a
nicer chair.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've gone with the bouncy ball for now, but it's better than the squeaky chair.
Yeah.
So,
I was
we'll
looking into gaming chairs because I'm building this PC, and I found that gaming chairs are rather expensive.
Really?
I thought
you don't say.
Don't look at me like that, Dad. But
with the speakers in the headrest?
No, much better. Much better.
Chargers in the armrest.
They look like fucking like something you'd see in like a professional race car.
Yeah, I know. They're hot like that.
Shut up.
No, I'm not even being condescending here. I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
They're
But I was
really
looking at
nice.
it, and you can spend anywhere from $200 to like $600 on a gaming chair.
Yeah, I am not surprised whatsoever with that.
They look comfortable as fuck, like big time.
Again, they for what they're charging and what you're getting, it better be, because you don't want to.
You know how much that was? That was like $200, man. That's the most expensive chair I've ever bought.
I think I remember when you were buying this too. Actually, it was a couple years ago.
I had to return it 6 times because there was always something wrong with one of them. And now that I've had it forever, I'm like, I shouldn't have bought this. Like, I should have spent the extra $100 and got like a memory foam one or something. It has done me well though. It survived.
It's certainly a comfortable chair. I was actually really surprised when we set up the first time for episode 0, and there was a crappy chair over there, and there was this one. So I go to sit in the crappy one. You're like, no, you get the other one.
Well, because I'm trying to talk myself into buying the gaming chair.
Well, I'm sure you're winning your argument.
Like, I'm just gonna make myself sit in shitty chairs until I find the moment that I want to buy.
Until you just snap and go out.
You know what?
Spend the money.
You know what this weekend is? This weekend is actually Prime Day is Sunday.
Oh yeah.
So
to order all your things.
Yeah. Hopefully some of those computer parts go on sale.
Actually, now I'm thinking what I've got like off to the side of my cart, and like, oh man.
Yeah,
I should order stuff this weekend.
You need to go on. You need to go on and
now, is that this weekend or next weekend?
Sunday.
All right.
This Sunday.
Okay. All right.
So all you have to do is you go on and you put your stuff in like a list, and they'll actually notify you if one of those things go on sale.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm hoping at least like a couple of those, like either the RAM. I don't believe the video card will go on sale, but if the video card goes on sale,
I'll snatch that up.
Oh yeah.
What's that one piece of equipment you were telling me about? For like if you're recording a video game or something. What was that?
Oh, the capture card.
Capture card. Do you have like that off to the side? Because there might be something there.
No, actually, I should put that in.
Yeah.
I was actually doing some research on on capture cards yesterday, and another YouTuber that I watch all the time. He actually had a black magic inside of his computer, and then he also used a external one as well. And I'm like, well, that's kind of overkill, but I should probably.
How would that work? Because I mean, when you say it's inside of his computer as like a program or something
Oh
physically
no,
inside his.
it's just a PCI, I believe. It's just a. It plugs into the motherboard.
Uh-huh.
You've opened a computer before.
Like on purpose?
Smashed it, opened it, whatever. You've seen the motherboard. You have a relatively
it's like, if you ever have to gut an animal, but
you just
you know what
attention.
everything looks at like, but the words for it, it's like, is that an appendix? No, those are lungs. That looks like testicles. I don't know.
That does. Lungs do not look like appendixes at all.
Oh, the hell if I know. Oh, okay. I'm being really vague here.
Okay, yeah.
I know lungs from the heart.
You know what's funny?
You know what I'm getting at.
The first time
I'm not doing an anatomy lesson when I open it up.
The first time I had to gut a deer, I was out hunting with my cousin, and I was under the impression that he's done this before. He's been hunting. He's gotten a deer before.
Yep.
He shoots the deer and goes, "I don't know what to do." I'm like, what? What?
And then you guys are like two stooges out in the woods.
No, we actually
making some sort of murder pact.
We called in. We phoned a friend.
Three stooges.
He knew what he was doing, but it ended up being me. I had to do it.
Take the knife. Take its life.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Literally, they teach you how to do it in the hunter safety course.
Right.
So you have a general idea on how to do it. It's just actually doing it. It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that fun. I'll tell you that. I didn't even enjoy doing my own. I was like, I
mean, if you ever
this
go,
is all right.
If you ever
the aftermath is fantastic though. Venison is amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. But I mean, if you ever go hunting with that guy who gets a boner while gutting your
Jesus
deer,
Christ, no,
you might not want to stay the night out there with him.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, if he starts getting a chub while he's going to work, you might want to get the hell out of there quick.
No, remember Archer? Remember Archer? They're holding his mom hostage.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful.
You remember? I remember.
That's such a great show. I don't think they're coming back with Archer.
No, I think it seemed like they were doing that last season, and they were letting it go, which I'm fine. It had a long run. It was some good show. I'm not really sure what else they could have done beyond that because they were doing like specialized season. The last
so much more.
I'm one of those people who's just like, don't make it keep happening just because.
Stop it. How many 007 movies has there been?
Too many. They've redone so many fucking movies. That's another thing that just pisses me off in general with cinema is they're just redoing things. And okay, that's fine to an extent, but get creative. Do something different. I know like so many years of cinema and entertainment has kind of sucked the ideas dry, but come on, try.
You know what I seen they just came out with? You might actually really like this.
No.
What's that video series like? This is how it should have ended, or
oh yeah. No, I know the one you're talking about. I think that's it. That's what it's called, and they have the little animations and
yeah, and they
funny alternates.
Yeah, they made a video called 5 Stages of watching a SpiderMan reboot. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I haven't either. So
I guess it's funny. I guess it's pretty good.
Well, again, I guess this is the purpose of the show, and we're way off topic. But how do you feel about the upcoming Spider-Man? What's your
Which
opinion?
one?
Homecoming.
There's 2 of them now.
There's 2 of them. What's the second one?
There's another remake coming out now.
I mean, are you not talking about the same one I'm talking about?
No, I know which one you're talking about. Homecoming with
Tom Holland.
Yeah, but it also has Iron Man in it.
Yeah, that's the same movie.
No, I know that movie that you're talking about.
Okay, what one are you talking about?
Also another one.
Same actor, different actor?
It's like the next one in the series of.
Are you sure you're not just talking about them already having the sequel to this planned?
No, they don't. They don't have. It's not to this. Here, I'll look it up.
Okay, well, you keep no, you keep go ahead and look that up. But what is your opinion on Homecoming, the one that's upcoming immediately, that's in the public sphere?
See, this is where we're gonna differ because I really like Spider-Man movies.
No, we're not differing there. I like Spider-Man movies. I mean, there, trust me, there have been some issues. The original Spider-Man 3, what the fuck? Um, but no, I've liked them in the past. They're not the best, but I just am a big fan of the character of Spider-Man. But I don't know.
The last one was Spider-Man 3.
No, Spider-Man 3 was with Tobey Maguire, with the original. I don't know if there's anything before that. The original actor.
What was the one before Homecoming?
Before Homecoming was the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I forget the actor's name. It's not Tom Holland. It's not Tobey Maguire. It's the guy in between. Something Garfield, I think. I forget his first name. But I thought he would have been Spider-Man.
IMDb. I don't even want to see what IMDb rated it as.
Well, it hasn't come out yet. I don't think
Homecoming?
it has. Has it?
I thought it just came out.
I thought it still had like some time.
I don't know. But
It should have said. Anyway, I'm excited for it, and I'm looking because we got a sneak peek at the character and the setup of Spider-Man from, which one was that? Was that from Civil War? He popped up.
Yeah,
and
just
I thought it was
right?
interesting. Yeah, well, he was enough in there to have a more than a cameo experience, at least what I think. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's kind of interesting seeing him almost take like a sidekicky type backseat to Tony Stark.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that's gonna work out though. I don't.
I mean,
I've never
Tony Stark
imagined-
is coming out as kind of like a overbearing parent almost. At least that's how it comes off in the trailers and in the Civil War movie.
Deadpool 2 is coming out.
Yes, I've seen some.
I almost forgot about that.
In the theaters in Logan, they had the.
I'm so glad he did that right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
yeah.
he did that right. Could you imagine if he made another Green Lantern?
He did no in Deadpool. Deadpool was fucking amazing.
Yeah, but he played Green Lantern.
Yes, I know. They even referenced that terrible abomination, and even referenced his terrible stint as Deadpool in X-Men Origins.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Didn't they like tape his mouth shut or
Wolverine
something?
Origins? It was
They
some
had
weird
him-
botch job
yeah.
where it just kind of like was fused over, and he was all
He wasn't allowed to
scarry.
talk or anything.
And instead of like actually having katanas, they were like these adamantine katanas that
Maybe that
came
was
out of his wrists.
maybe that was actually fate. Like someone knew he was not ready to play Deadpool yet.
He was always ready to play Deadpool. He was just never portrayed properly.
Okay.
He was from the moment, like even before they screwed him up and put him through the X program in that movie. He was great as Deadpool already, and he nailed it in his own, his standalone.
Shazam.
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 You know Shazam, don't you?
2019.
Yeah, they're really getting ahead of themselves.
Holy crap, man! They have the next few years planned out for us.
Yes, they do. This is a surprise for you. This is what they've been doing with the industry. It doesn't matter how good or bad they are; they're making more.
Why are they giving these people budgets?
No, that's like the definition of too big to fail.
I've seen a lot of really good like fan films coming out for everyone. I mean, there's so much. Video is so open now that everyone's doing it and everyone's getting good at it.
Oh yeah,
like it's becoming so easy.
Well, it's a medium that everyone enjoys, and again, like you said, it's getting more accessible. So, and again, with the mainstream media, mainstream Hollywood kind of getting stuck on these one-track minds again, like having the next 20 superhero movies already planned out. You lose your individuality, you lose your flavor, and it just becomes necessary for these individuals to just kind of step in and do something. And every once in a while, they do something amazing.
I was watching him.
Creeper.
Mm.
All right.
Anyway, so back to where we were though.
Right.
Segueing back to like how do you believe like you're still affected by like the military?
Okay. So we've done our segue. No, I'm still affected in a lot of ways. In my mind, there are generally two people who come out of the military. There's the people who are just like, okay, I was in for my time, I did my service, and now I'm trying to move on and do my own thing. And then there's the guy who comes out who's super ura, or whatever the fuck it is. They're out, but they can't get over it, and it's just stuck in their head, and that just becomes part of who they are. And realistically, I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I mean, I'm not super cool or everything, but I still have pride for it, and I'll wear like a military themed T-shirt or something. But
I've fallen into the line of shitbag.
And no, that happens too. But like coming out, and I know you've had we'll talk about yours later if you feel like it, but like I've gotten out. So many things about the military affected me in an immediately negative way. Like I smoke now. When I went into the military, I didn't smoke, but when I was deployed, that was a part of the environment. I picked it up, and I haven't dropped it since. Drinking. I'm not nearly as bad as I was in the past, but I drank while I was in the military. I got out. I drank a hell of a lot more, and I still drink now, but
I ended up drinking a lot more after I left. I actually made it through probably half of my military career without like drinking at all, and then there was a couple times, but I mean, I was under 21. Like
Right.
I was out of the army right before I turned 21.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. You're still going to get it. You're still going to get it no matter what.
Yeah, and that happens. I don't think that matters whether you're in the military or not. If you want to drink and you're underage, odds are you're going to find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. People are crafty.
Yeah.
People are really crafty.
Yeah, some people just don't care. They're like, okay, whatever, give me the money, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, playing Hey Mister is probably my favorite.
Yeah. But no, the big part is drinking, and I've seen this affect a lot of people I've known. I've seen very few people who got out of the military.
You haven't went back to
drink.
Platinum, have you?
Platinum? No. That was always a very special occasion.
That was a mess.
That was a guaranteed fight.
I was banned. I was banned from it. My mother banned me from that drink.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this the other day. I was like, that's one thing, like, even I had to sit myself down and be like...
Yeah, that was like, if you guys don't know what we're talking about,
Bud Light, Bud Light Platinum.
It's Budweiser Platinum, I think. Is it Bud Light? I don't know. But it's that brand, Platinum, and it's like higher content. But I mean, I freaking down.
It made everyone who drank it...
I used to down liquor all the time, no problem. I'd kill a bottle in a night. This stuff would fuck us up. And not only would it fuck us up, we would get fighty.
Yeah.
We would get real
fighty. Instant. There was no doubt about it.
But yeah, no. But again, like we were saying, I know very few people who got out of the military who didn't have a drinking problem, and very few who don't continue to drink. And though the people who don't are usually the ones who have a family or something. They've got something.
Yeah.
You and myself, we haven't started our own families, so in the meantime, we're kind of making do with career, extracurriculars, whatever it is, to just try to keep going, keep ourselves busy, keep ourselves focused.
Yeah. I don't know. It's getting a lot easier because now I'm filling the void with stuff like this, and like actually learning how to like make my own films and stuff like that. And you need that. You absolutely need that. That's why actually I wanted to include you in on this, because I mean we don't have anything going on.
Right.
It's like
and like, I mean, as far as the drinking thing, I've kind of come and gone. For a while where it was real heavy. I had an incident. I slowed down significantly for a while, and now I'm kind of I'm working my way back up again. I'm not trying to, but that's sort of what's happening.
Yeah, it's just you're falling into the rut.
Right. And it's like the way to put it, I'm not sure, for like people who don't have a drinking problem, it's kind of hard to put it in words. It's not like I'm not trying to drink to forget or this the other. It's a distraction.
Oh yeah,
If
it's
you're
something to do.
well, if you're drinking, you don't have like you don't think about anything. You're not bogged down, and like if you're dealing with PTSD or whatever, it's one of two things: either you don't think about it whatsoever, or when the feelings come up, you feel no need to hold yourself back at all. You just let it out, and it's not healthy, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
Even like, and this is part of the reason why I know I had an issue. I'd be drinking by myself, and I'd just be reliving this stuff, and you know, it got me by one way or another. I feel horrible that night and sink low in depression, and the next day is just kind of like, okay, I got it off my chest, even if it was just me alone at my place. And I'd carry on, and I'd go on until the next weekend, where I'd get myself another bottle and just be like, okay, I'll finish that this week, or not this week, this weekend, like today or
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I'll purge in that way. And
Yeah.
it's like not like, but
I still haven't. I
yeah.
still have not. I still have not drank
no, which I know, and I'm
since
proud of you
way
for doing it.
before. I think it's been about almost a year, and I don't know. I don't keep track. People count days.
Oh yeah,
People count
I feel
hours.
like that would
when I
drive
had to
you
go
crazy.
to one of those classes,
you know?
they had a speaker there that was counting. He had it memorized by
down
like
to the minutes. Well, they
down
got
to
an
the
app for it
minutes.
now too.
Yeah,
Like if you're in one of those things, you get an app. You're like, start, and you can like literally watch. But that's terrible because I feel like
can't
you're
do it.
watching paint dry while being like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Well, the more you think about it, the more you're gonna
Right, exactly. It's right
the more
there.
of a chance that you're gonna have to relapse, which I can't stand. Half of those programs that they put on that educate you,
Yeah.
they educate you in such bad ways.
Right.
Like I officially know more about drugs after going through some of those classes than I ever would have in my life.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I'm not sure how much experience you have in this, but like aside from the alcohol, drug use too. I saw that both in the military and outside of the military, and it's not as as consistent and at the forefront of everything as alcoholism, but it certainly rears its head.
Yeah, no. I don't know how much I should get into this.
Yeah.
But there's definitely drug use in the army.
Oh yeah.
Like more than you would think.
No, like no, for example, I had a pair of young sergeants on my first deployment going to Iraq, and both of them got busted in the field for cocaine. Cocaine. Yeah,
that's pretty rough.
And they got bumped. They got bumped down to corporal, and had their sergeants by the time they got back.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
So
that's not that bad.
They
right?
were on deployment.
Yeah, they were on deployment with
What?
cocaine. Like, how did you? How?
I could understand that
Where
though,
the
because
fuck did you-
where were you guys stationed?
Iraq.
Drugs are huge.
Yeah,
Huge in Iraq.
But cocaine?
Yeah, I don't know.
They've got a lot of stuff, but cocaine I would not say is the first thing that comes to mind in the drug scene of Iraq.
Well, it's mostly opiates, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel
But
like someone
it also
mailed
is-
this in like a can somehow.
I don't
They're
think
like, I need
anyone's-
my cocaine.
I don't think anyone from the United States is mailing cocaine to Afghanistan or Iraq.
How do you know?
I don't.
No, exactly.
Because they actually still do it now. There's people that send it through the mail from California and Colorado over to the East Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get away. Like,
yeah.
I guess if you package it right, you can get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, more realistically, liquor. That happened all the time in deployments. You're supposed to be dry over there, but people would get things of Listerine sent to them.
Dyed Listerine.
Yep.
Dyed Listerine.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Or one of my favorites was actually, we had some tricksy interpreters that would actually, where we were stationed in Afghanistan, they would go across the border get liquor across the border, and then come back because it was illegal in Afghanistan just to have liquor because Sharia law and everything.
Hmm?
Yeah,
What is this? What?
Sharia law is just generally a set of laws and rules in the Muslim faith that they're expected to live by. This includes stuff like the burqa and not eating pork
Okay.
and those sort of things. And on that is you shouldn't consume alcohol. So, like a lot of the people,
So it's basically a dry country?
yeah, yeah.
What?
Marijuana's fine, by the way. Marijuana is no problem in the Islamic faith, but liquor, nope.
Well, I mean that's a touchy subject in
Right? No, it
itself.
is depending on where you go, but it just kind of shows, hey, difference of opinions on what they do to you, which I can understand to a degree. Marijuana over liquor.
Oh my god, I could
Oh yeah,
I don't like getting into the whole like legalization thing, but like
it's a dead horse.
it's to the point where I'm like, well, obviously people function better on marijuana than alcohol.
Right.
I mean, I could only imagine this corner some nights if everyone was high as fuck, and
It would not be as rowdy, it'd be terrible.
instead of drunk as shit,
Yeah, and for again, whatever audience we have, there's literally within a block and a half, maybe 4 bars just
Yeah.
down that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely gets rowdy.
That's
here.
why I'll never be able to do this show at night.
Yeah,
and with 4th of July,
oh my goodness,
holy crap, dude! You should have heard all of the fireworks. There was people lighting quarter sticks off in the center of this intersection right here.
not a surprise.
Where the fuck are you getting quarter sticks now? I haven't seen a quarter stick since I was like 12. I'm like, for one, you're in New York, and for two, Pennsylvania stores do not sell quarter sticks anymore.
So you move,
and you know what one of the shitty new M80s sound like, versus a quarter stick.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, someone's making that shit. Like for real.
Freaking.
The only time I ever seen a quarter stick, and I've been to a lot of fireworks stores. The only time I've ever seen a quarter stick is homemade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know if I trust these people around here making fireworks.
Realistically, they'll probably blow themselves up before anyone else.
Yes.
I mean, they're doing this for a celebration. They aren't like, oh.
Center of the intersection is a little too close to home for me, literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh well.
No.
So did you keep up on anything this week? Did you see any of the news? Like anything on
the only thing I really saw that kind of stuck out to me, and again, there's always stuff going on with Trump and stuff, but specifically was North Korea doing some dumb stuff again. I guess they worked on a ICBM, which intercontinental ballistic missile. ICBM, yep. I guess they got that one to work, and it's got a lot of people kind of nervous.
Didn't we talk about the last one?
Right.
I feel like
that ended up being a failed test. I didn't get too far into the article. I feel like I should have done more research on this.
No, but didn't me and you talk about the last one and how the no, I don't think I talked to you about this. Some individuals, I shouldn't say people.
Yeah.
Some individuals think that the last one, the failed attempt, was possibly on purpose. Like they failed on purpose to make us think that they don't have the technology. It's fucking 2017.
They really
they've got to have the technology
I've seen
coast to coast.
Some interviews with people who had actually escaped from North Korea, on YouTube again, because we have great programs like that. But they are really behind. I mean, like if you went down to
yes, they're citizens. They're citizens.
No, just in general. Like if you see like the stuff they have, if you actually see the stuff they have, they're working off real old tech, and they don't have a lot of new stuff. Realistically,
how are they not getting it? I mean, people
these
heart of China, the ghettos of China have like. There's just random nerds that are doing better than most Americans.
Yeah, again, you'd be really surprised. But from what I've gathered, at least, is a lot of people why they're because a lot of people are like, well, why the hell is North Korea even trying to make these, nuclear missiles are going to reach everywhere? What the hell is the point? And the general consensus from the people who were being interviewed was, well, they think this is going to secure their spot in the world. They legit, like, according to propaganda, they legitimately think that the United States of America is the greatest threat to their nation, and that if they have a far-reaching nuclear missile, that will ensure their protection. My question is, what are they going to do once they have that? Is it literally just going to be for show, and kind of like they're doing now, where they rattle their sabers and say, "Hey, don't mess with me," or you know where I'm getting? What is the end game for them? That's my big open question.
I have to fix this because this is bothering me. Our camera is definitely not where it
Not
should
centered.
Be. No.
Okay.
It's bothering me.
How far in are we? Like, do we have a timestamp?
We are. Yeah, right up there in the corner. We're at 55 minutes.
Okay. All right. That's not too bad.
But there was a couple more things that I wanted.
No.
wanted
Okay.
to
No.
talk to you
Go
about.
ahead.
Because I mean, we're basically doing a weekly show. We're not going too much into music, but not music, into like news and stuff.
Right. Again, this is just kind of like talk as we go.
Yeah, I caught on the whole North Korea thing again.
Mm-hmm.
I caught a video of some girl that was giving a speech on how she escaped from North Korea and stuff.
Right.
And the way like she described like what she was told about was it Kim
Jong Un?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What she was told about him and how like
or Il. I don't know. I forget which ones. Is that the new one? Kim Jong Il?
I don't care.
No. Kim Jong Il is the last one. Kim Jong Un is the current one.
Okay. So like as a kid, she believed that like he could read her mind. Like she wasn't allowed to talk about anything. Like her mother would tell her like not even the bugs and flowers can hear you, because they're shit like that is taken so seriously over there.
Oh, they literally see him as like a deity, like a godlike figure, and that's not, it's not an over exaggeration. It's a serious thing.
I couldn't imagine like.
Well, that's the amount of control that they exert over their general population. Is they really think that their leader is some sort of minor deity.
So we see
maybe not even minor deity.
We see things like what was that college that just got taken over by the students?
Yeah, Evergreen College out in Washington State.
We see incidents like Evergreen happen here, and just really anything that's ever happened in the United States, anything that's happened in the European countries.
Yeah.
China's had outrageous incidences.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just a part of the world that doesn't understand how to overthrow their government. Like what
you have to realize.
I can't imagine how oppressed they have to be to the point where they don't even free themselves.
Right.
I mean, because every situation in the entire world so far has freed themselves.
Well, again, like they have done such a good job at concentrating power, and then on top of that, on establishing what the population can and cannot do, and they tell them this is all in your own interest, because what is it? I think it's the Democratic Republic of North Korea or something is the actual title of the country. So they really think this is like or the People's Republic. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the exact acronym.
Yeah,
but it's a communist state. By definition, the communist state is supposed to be for the people.
Yeah.
So they think they've got it as good as they can, and everything is being done in their interests. I mean, realistically, the individual person might not believe everything's being done in their best interest, especially when they bring death squads through their village
and they're starving to death, like in a literal sense.
But as far as what they're allowed to say and do and express, that's what they believe.
I can't even imagine it. Like whenever I do any kind of research on North Korea, which has been
Yeah.
really none because I don't know how to bring myself to like wrap my head around it. So I just kind of stay away from it.
Well, and even though it's really comparing apples to oranges here, but like when I was deployed, seeing like some of the local populace like way out in the middle of nowhere, out in Afghanistan, or some locals out in Iraq, to a very small extent, you kind of get an idea of what that's like. Of when you seclude some people and you exert force on them and say this is how it is, you kind of get an idea of like what's going on there. Like you go to a village out in the middle of Afghanistan, way up in the mountains, and they might have a truck bringing produce in or out like once a week maybe, and that's the most interaction they really have with the world outside their village more often than not. Again, that's not everywhere, but they certainly exist, so it's very secluded.
Yeah.
And then you get, again, for Afghanistan, you get the Taliban who come in, and they come in with an ultimatum. They say, hey, we're here to fight for you, so we need from you either all your young men, or you need to pay us a certain amount to keep your young men, and if you don't do this, we're going to destroy your village. And it's that kind of control on a large scale that's going on in North Korea. So I do have an idea, just because I've seen this kind of stuff, and I've also seen a village revolt against these people, and depending on what side you're on, it went well. Villagers won. Didn't go well for the guys who threatened them.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. At least they.
It was.
I mean,
it was mixed. It was mixed feelings on that.
I'm sure it didn't go exactly the way they wanted, but
let's put it this way. When we found out about it, we're like, good job, way to go, you hold on to them, and we're going to question them when we get there. When we got there was no one to question, I'll say that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was very mixed feelings when you get there, and you're like, I mean, good job, I guess, but
excellent. You guys, you did well for yourselves.
Yeah,
you should have.
It kind of gets into the weird vigilante justice, international policy. It gets really fuddled there. Yeah.
Well, all right, man. I think maybe we should call it.
Yeah,
we made it over the hour mark.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well. Episode 1, got some hit a lot of topics.
I hope we get some kind of feedback on it. I hope someone comes across it.
Yep. Anyway, that's This Week in Nothing. Mike DM.
I guess I'm gonna go with PFC.
PFC.
And we are out.